Hello friends, my name is Claire and I'm going to be doing an autumn-inspired family home in The Sims 4 for this week's video. So this is a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home built in the world of Willow Creek and is not a pack restricted build, although I was selective with my packs, but it's kind of random with the packs. So one of the packs I did use is Seasons, and that is so I can get these beautiful red trees and this cute little entry rug for the outside, also the chairs from Seasons, and I wanted to do a autumn inspired build for this week's video because during October I try to focus my building on the occults we have in the game, and so if you want to see like a vampire house, a werewolf house, a mermaid house, you can follow me and subscribe, hit that like button while you're down there. I post new videos every single Tuesday and I would love to have you join me. So we are now working on the entryway and the kitchen. I feel like this is like a semi-open concept floor plan in this house. It's like you first walk in, you are in the dining room and the kitchen, but to the left of the house there is the living room and office. So we are just going to be adding a little island, and all of these items except for the bar stools are from the base game, so all the countertops and appliances are from the base game. I did like having these bar stools. It just seemed a little bit rustic to me, and I wanted the house to be a little rustic, so we are going to be adding the same rug from the entryway, the main door, into the kitchen just to have that consistency, that kind of like flow through the kitchen into the entryway area. So we are just going to be decorating the counters now. I did try to keep it pretty simple, so if you want your Sims to cook together, there is space for that. And now we're just going to be adding a dining room table. It's like right off of the entry, but I feel like it makes sense, especially if your Sims are hosting the Harvest Fest event or dinner. It's, if you're not familiar what Harvest Fest is, it is basically Thanksgiving but in The Sims. It's the Sims version of Thanksgiving, so we are just going to be going into this little corner area, and I was thinking, oh, this would be such a great like computer spot, but I'm planning on having an office area in the back of the house. So instead, I make this a little like coffee bar, pantry area, and so I wanted it to also be decorated, and that's why I decided to add these shelves with a whole bunch of books on them. As mentioning, one of the parents would be a bookworm, and so I feel like having all these books just kind of made sense. It's probably my favorite part of the house. It's just this little nook. It just looks so pretty and cute and cozy. So we are just going to be adding everything from the left side onto the right side, just going to change it up a little bit so it doesn't look too symmetrical but still consistent with the first side. And so we're just going to be adding all of these books. I tried to keep them in similar color schemes or similar swatches, just not the same like pattern as the shelves on the left side. And so this bottom shelf I wanted to keep kind of more simple, so I just have a small stack of books with a candle next to it, and I feel like this area is my favorite part of this house, so we are just going to be adding those counters. And I do keep one of the counters clean so your Sims can still cook over there, as well as the main kitchen area. And now we are just going to be adding some leaves. So I guess I'm just kind of adjusting these leaves onto the table and going to be making a little backpack area over here by this table and going to be adding a little shelving china nook area. And now we are in the living room of the house, and so I wanted to make sure there's a fireplace, and that's kind of why I designated this side of the house to be for the living room. And there is a small bathroom on this first floor. It's just a sink and a toilet, but I'll talk more about that when we get into that room. So to keep with the autumn and fall color scheme, I decided to go with orange couches, and I feel like it just kind of ties in pretty well with the darker wood tones to match the windows and the cream walls to kind of play off of the orange. And so we are just going to be adding a little don't wink the llama table, but I do actually get rid of that table and instead make it a little kid zone for the kids in the house. And now we are just going to be slightly moving things over. I wanted to make sure that it felt cozy in here. This house has a pretty large footprint. It is built on a larger lot in the world of Willow Creek, and so it kind of called for a bigger house. So now we are just working on this little kids area, put a little doll house, and a little art table over here. And I feel like this is just kind of like a smart little idea for parents who want to have their kids close but don't need to have their eyes on their kids 24/7. So we are just going to be adding some artwork, some little kid artwork. I try to keep it pretty simple over here because I didn't want it to take over the whole living room. I just wanted to make it a little playroom nook area. So we are just going to be adding a violin, and now in the first floor bathroom. So we are just going to be adding very simple items in here, all like the necessary items. And so just the final touch will be a little like cupboard for all of the extra bathroom things, and going to be adding just a little artwork over here. I decided to go for like one of the pre-made collages just to keep it simple and it's space game, and I didn't have to like do too many packs because I was trying to be careful with my pack usage in this house. And so we are just going to be working on the desk space. I kind of was imagining maybe when the parents would work from home, and that's why the office is, or the computer is, in a closed off room. I know I say this a lot, but I do try to put computers in different areas and with different situations. I know that just trying to keep it realistic between having like a computer in a closed room rather than having a computer in an open area. I mostly do family homes on my channel, and so I know different families have different rules when it comes to technology. So we are just going to be adding a little bonsai tree. I was trying to make this also like a skill building area. So we have an art easel, we have some chess tables, we have the bonsai tree, and you can do a lot of things on the computer. But now we are outside. I wanted to add a grill because that's just another way your Sims can cook, and it is protected underneath this little porch area. So we are going to be adding a little dining table and going to be adding another little kid zone out here. I wanted this area to be fun for the whole family, so I mostly have this backyard with a garden station or gardening beds, and that's mostly because I wanted to use the Scarecrow Patchy that helps you with your gardening, and I thought that was just kind of a fun thing. It came with the seasons pack, and I was mostly trying to use that pack in this build. So we are just going to be making a little sand box for the kids. I don't know if sand's the best like source material during the fall, but I was trying to keep it realistic when it came to that and have it something just you would use year round. So we are just going to be adding some swings, and I wanted this area to just be a cute little area for the kids. I was trying to get the monkey bars to work as well, but I made the kid area pretty small. So if you want to have monkey bars, you can make this garden area smaller if you want to. I wanted to make it larger because of the patchy scarecrow that will help you garden. And I feel like having a little like garden area just seemed very fall, like bringing in the fall harvest. And so now we are just going to be adding some decor onto the table out here to kind of like tie in the two like indoor and outdoor tables. And I am using the table and chairs from the get together pack, and I really liked how it looked rustic, but it didn't look like you're going to get a splinter. So we are going to be adding a little bit more space to the kids area. I was a little bit afraid that your Sims wouldn't like be able to like go around to push the Sims on the swing. It's a really cute interaction. And now we are on the second level of the house, and we're first going to be starting off in the hall bathroom and the hallway itself. It's a pretty simple space, and so I just kind of put a picture down and called it good. So it's not like a complete empty space, but it's also a pretty small space. I couldn't do too much to it. So this bedroom or this bathroom would service both of the bedrooms, and then the primary has a primary suite attached to it. And now we are just going to be adding decorations into this hall bath. So I was imagining that 3 Sims would use this bathroom, 1 teen and 2 children, and now we're just going to be finding a mirror to go above the sink. And I did not want to like overly clutter this space. I do add a garbage can into the bathroom. It's something I normally don't usually do, is add bathrooms in the garbage can. It just seemed like a pretty good spot, and this is a 4x2 bathroom, which is a little bit bigger than my usual 3x2 bathroom. And so I'm like, hey, I got space. I can splurge a little bit and add a garbage can. So now we are in the second bedroom, the first bedroom being the primary bedroom, and this is a bedroom towards the back of the house so they can look out into the backyard, which I feel like would be really fun. They also have this like super cool floor to ceiling window, and now we are just going to be adding the beds and going to be adding some side tables. I was originally planning on just having one Sim use this bedroom, but all 3 of these bedrooms are really large, and so it was okay to have 2 Sims in here because it's a large bedroom. And now we're just kind of making a little desk homework area, and I wanted this area, or I imagined this area to be for 2 girls, and so I kind of wanted it to be a little bit girly, and so that's why I went with this nice little princess desk in this room. And now we're just going to be adding some items from seasons. I realized I didn't really know what to do with this area. At first I thought it could be a good like art craft area, but I already had that area downstairs, and so I just kind of switched out that table because this looks a little bit more loved, a little bit like your Sims are artistic, and I was mentioning in the parents would be artistic with the easel in the office hobby room area. So we are just going to be adding these lightly colored drapes, and I feel like it just kind of ties in to the like cream walls, and now we're just going to be adding some little personal items onto the side tables as well as a laundry basket. And I just wanted this area to feel like it had personality, but very easily, if you want to play in this house, you can switch it out and change it to maybe fit more of your Sims personalities. And now we are just going to be adding some art onto the walls and just going to be finishing off this room with a little cloud detail above this first bed. And I really like how this room turned out. It's really cool. I feel like it's like not like a typical square room. It has like kind of like edges to it. And now we're just gonna be adding a little mirror by the closet. And since all of these rooms are pretty big, I did add those like in-wall closets from the get together pack, and I feel like it kind of makes it feel more homey in a way to me because that's what I have in my house and that's what I've always grown up with. So we are just going to be adding a little plant in the corner of the first level in the living room, and going to be adding some backpacks and lunch boxes. I didn't add a lunchbox for the teenager because if you have the high school years pack, which is a pack I use in this house, you would have a lunch break and then go to cafeteria for lunch. And so for the teen, I just have a backpack. And speaking of teen, that is the room we are in now. So I was mentioning that this sim would be into football, and I know that is a very fall time sport, and so it just felt appropriate to have football be the theme for this teens room. And so we're just gonna be adding that backpack that I was just barely talking about, and going to be adding some personality. I can't really tell when I couldn't really tell when I was in the video, but if the cream desk blends too much with the cream wallpaper, I was just kind of going with the same wallpaper through the whole house just to keep it consistent. But I didn't really like know if the bed frame mat was like too blending in, especially with the matching desk and side table. But I feel like it did turn out pretty well, so we are just going to be adding a little lamp on the on the side table, and going to be adding some wall art, wall decorations. Something I did was to add the same laundry basket in in the kids room to this room, just change the swatch, and I feel like it looked pretty good. It looked like the parents like bought the both rooms a laundry basket, but they knew that they couldn't be matching, and so they bought like ones that coordinate with one another. And so we are just going to be adding a computer onto this desk. I know nowadays that using computers is like kind of part of the homework process, and I feel like the sim parents in this house would be like trustworthy enough for their teenager to have a computer in their room, especially maybe since they have a lot of like files for homework, and the computer in the office is mostly used for work purposes for the parents. And now we are just going into the final area of the house, which is the primary suite. So we're just going to be adding a little bed and going to be adding a TV. And it's just a very simple room for being such a large room. I probably could have made this a 4 bedroom house. It's just that 2 of the bedrooms would have been really, really tiny, and I feel like having large rooms sometimes is a plus, especially in the real world. So that's why I went 3 bedrooms instead of 4, and so we're just going to be adding a little seating area and going to be adding a mirror by the closet and bathroom. So like I said, this area is pretty simple. I feel like with being parents, I probably have a hectic life and just kind of need a little bit of a calm, chill zone. So I wanted that to be this area. So we are just going to be in the primary bathroom now, and I add 2 toilets, which I do get rid of this one in the main bathroom, and I replace it with a little like towel holder, extra bathroom holder supplies. I just forgot there's a water closet that I purposely added into this room. So we are getting close to the end of the video. If you haven't yet, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I post new videos every single Tuesday, and if you're over on Instagram, I am over there too. My username is the same as YouTube and The Sims 4 Gallery. And if you want to play in this house, all the information is down in the description. So I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!